EliteConversations.com. EliteConversations.com. EliteConversations.com.
Hello there, this is Daryl Spears with EliteConversations.com. I want to thank you again for joining us for another episode of Elite Conversations Unplugged. And today we are talking HR. We have Ms. Fredricia Cunegin, who is the owner of HR in Motion, and we're really going to talk about some things that you should be thinking about as a business owner, as a corporation, as a nonprofit. You know, HR seems like it's something that we can wait to talk about, but it's very important on how you structure your business and how you can even advance your business. If you don't have that in place, then you know, things can get very hairy. So I thank Fredricia so much for joining us today. And just a little bit about her. She is the founder and CEO of HR in Motion, LLC, a human resource consulting firm which helps business executives optimize value in human capital investments through the use of strategic planning, training, and performance management to drive significant increases in company-wide productivity, performance, and profitability. She became an HR consultant to partner with CEOs to unveil internal practices that may cause profit and loss hemorrhaging. Fredricia is a motivational speaker, trainer, coach, and human resource management mentor. With over 20 years of corporate human resource experience, Fredricia offers a proprietary methodology and infrastructure to help her clients operate their business and/or nonprofit organization with compliance of federal and state laws. That's huge. She provides strategic planning, human resources software automation and integration, employee and labor relations, talent acquisition, recruitment services, benefit management, employment law compliance, training and development, and performance management. She became the CEO. Before she became a CEO, she was a human resource manager at Washington Hospital Center, managing a team of HR generalists and assistants. She was intricate in the implementation of post-offer criminal background checks results during her tenure at Prince George's Community Hospital Center. She has provided training and development services to nationally known clients, such as the University of Maryland, University College, the Center for Minority Business Development, which was housed at Prince George's Community College, and Operation Hope, the global leader for financial dignity, Washington, D.C. She is dedicated to helping emerging businesses leverage human resource management expertise to optimize workforce performance and increase profitability. So we have an awesome person in the house right now that can really help your business grow through a proper process of conducting performance management, labor management, and all that good stuff. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for the
I appreciate
invitation.
you for coming in.
I appreciate being here.
Yes, HR in Motion. Talk a little bit about that, how you got started, and what's that, how can businesses benefit from your services?
So, Daryl, first of all, congratulations to you on
Thank you.
Elite Conversations.
I appreciate that.
That's really awesome. It's not a small feat to just make a decision and then move, which is what HR in Motion, how she became.
Wow.
I'm kind of biased.
Yeah.
HR in Motion became a reality because I had reached my goal, which was to work at Washington Hospital Center.
Okay.
That's where I wanted to be as an HR professional. And when I got that job, I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the job was eliminated.
Wow.
So I was like, now what I'm going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I was able to find another opportunity, but my heart was still drawn towards HR services. And one night I was in my home office and I said, okay, Lord, so what am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard HR in Motion.
Wow.
I turned around to my computer and began to type our mission
It's a
statement.
mission statement. That's
My husband and I
awesome.
went to our attorney, and the rest is history. Human resources is massive today. It started out with pushing papers, taking demographic information, making sure that everyone was well identified, properly identified in the workplace. Today, women are at the table.
Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt about that.
And we are at the table assisting in making decisions. And so, and I shouldn't just say women, but I distinctively identified us because for years we weren't. But collaboratively, we are at the table today. Men and women are making decisions about the lives of others. I like to really give human resource management a personal perspective.
Okay.
We're dealing with lives. We're dealing with people. In our economy today, you and I have seen some dreadful stories, heart-wrenching stories
Yes.
of what causes one to feel like there's no hope. In human resource management, from my perspective, the goal is to proactively assist an individual to ensure that they're working where they should work. They're in a position where their skill set is optimally identified. And
That's
they can be
awesome.
released to make it happen for that organization, personal development for themselves. Do I want to go back to school? Many years ago, if you got a job and you were there for 40 years, that was the way to go. You know?
Not anymore.
You got that watch or
Yes.
that clock, and
Wow.
you can say, I worked for company ABC for 40 years. Today,
Today, yeah.
if you're going to work there for 40 years, you better be moving through that process to show growth and development, to show not just loyalty. Loyalty has its place.
Right.
Because without that, sometimes moving can be prohibited. But where there is growth and we are personally developed, we have to be personally responsible for our own development.
That's right.
Just like now when you go to the doctor, you have to say why. You have to say, explain that to me. You have to say, I need further understanding.
Yeah.
In human resource management, managing the lives of individuals, supporting, giving guidance, coaching, directing, the goal is that an organization does a phenomenal job identifying individuals who are properly suited for that organization's mission. I am of the mindset that my personal mission in life needs to match with the mission of an organization or an individual I choose to connect with. Business partnership is also just as important as it is providing consulting services or being able to identify with a client and that client says to me, Fredrica, this is really where I want to go. Instead of me just saying, okay, I need to peel that back.
Okay.
I need to help that business owner understand. Actually, they're going to help me understand it. Because when a business owner says, this is where I want to go, in that decision are all of the pieces within them, because it's their baby. To allow me to help them, they have to allow me in.
Yeah, that's right.
And to allow me in, they've got to trust me with their secrets.
Absolutely.
I'm not talking about proprietary info. Their secret is, I decided yesterday that instead of buying this much space, I'm going to buy this much space. So now, Fredrica, I'm going to have this much space. Is that a good idea? My job in human resource management is not just saying we need to start recruitment management. I did that when I first started. I would go in and I would give all of the what HR Motion can do.
Right.
That's not what the person want to hear. They want to hear, how can you solve my problem?
Absolutely. I tell folks all the time, you got to solve them pain points.
If you can't solve my problem, I really don't care about your laundry list.
That is so true.
Yes.
That is so
I need to
powerful.
know, can you solve my problem? My problem is, I know what I need, but I don't know how to identify it. There's a lot of, Daryl, there's so many solutions today, HR management solutions to assist us. But I am really gifted to connect with people. I have the ability to connect with people. But I didn't always have that. I didn't always know how to do that. Even though the gifting was within, I had to learn to develop myself in order to connect with others.
With others, yeah.
And being able to connect with business owners to assist them in peeling back what they're really looking for and how will we get there is where we start.
Yeah, and I like that, and I'm no longer in corporate America, but I see when I was leaving how HR is playing a huge role now.
Huge.
With workshops and activities constantly, you know, especially with the millennials, and being the voice and sharing the vision for the company and all that good stuff. So, you know, when I first started working, I didn't see HR other than my paycheck.
Exactly.
I just thought they was the person that's supposed to make sure I got health insurance and the check, and I didn't see him anymore. That was it. Yeah, that's all, you know.
Yes.
And I was hoping I didn't see him. That means I got fired. But that was it for HR, but it's definitely taken a much bigger role.
Much bigger role.
And for a lot of our viewers who are small business owners and entrepreneurs, it's an even more important role and something that we don't pay attention to like we should.
Absolutely.
Because especially as solopreneurs and stuff, I don't have employees, I don't have to worry about that. But even when you start a business, is that something we should be thinking about from day one, even before we start thinking about having employees or bringing in assistants or contractors? How should we approach that?
How should you approach it? You should approach that decision based on your sales.
Okay.
You got to bring in the money.
Got to bring well, that's true. Yes.
You got to bring in the money. I made the mistake of looking for the people to
I think most people
help me.
That's what I would think.
Wrong answer.
Okay.
You need to find the money. You need to market your package against your competition. And if there's no competition, wonderful. Then you need to introduce your package, your product, your service to the audience to determine, is it a product or a service that people will purchase? And once you identify that, yeah, this is working, or it's workable, don't have to worry about tweeting it or tweaking it initially. You just need to get it in front of the audience that you want to know. We're over here. I'm company ABC, and I have this widget. What you think about it?
Exactly.
Once you get enough of those products sold, then you're going to know you need help.
Exactly. Yeah. You know you're addressing the pain point.
Now you know. Yes.
That's a great way of putting it. I just never, you really have to build your plan around that.
You got to. You absolutely have to. Why? Because cash flow is king. And without it, it causes all kinds of turmoil in your thinking. It's not like it's not that the product isn't good. You have to test it first.
Exactly.
And then the people will come.
Yeah.
Because once you sell that product, think about it. A name brand product may cost thousands of dollars, but it doesn't matter until it's purchased.
Exactly.
Once it's purchased, it now has value.
Right, yeah.
Now that producer, that manufacturer, that business owner has confidence because my product worked.
Right.
And then once that product is sold, and it's sold again, and it's sold some more, that space that I just demonstrated earlier, that business owner may say to me, Fredrica, I have this, but I really see this. This makes better sense.
It does.
When you have a price point and when you have an actual number, how many products, how much of this product or how much of this service do I need to sell in order to maintain this space?
Right. Yeah, I see that now.
Yes.
Bring in your sales team so you
Yes.
exponentially grow because you already know you have a market.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then that's where the human resource piece comes into play. The human resource piece is important because, one, you need me to believe in your vision so that I will mimic your vision. And because you're dealing with people, systems are necessary for your success. That's why human resource is so necessary, but it's got to be systematic. What happens is, one of the basic lessons that I share with clients and with others, never underestimate the knowledge base of your employees.
Right, yeah. Awesome.
Please don't do that. Don't think that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't know, they know someone who may
Somebody
know.
know, exactly. People talk.
Yes, people talk. And then there is the www, the World Wide Web.
Yep, absolutely.
You can Google anything.
Now, how was that impacting HR now? That the World Wide Web, information, jobs about people, backgrounds about
Yeah.
information.
Yes.
Because I know people are listening in terms of not just entrepreneurs and employers, but people that are looking for jobs.
Yes.
On the HR side, how much does social media play in the hiring aspect now of employees?
Major. As we sit here and breathe, without breath, without air, we wouldn't survive, right?
Right, exactly.
But we don't have to think about it because we do it effortlessly. Social media makes it effortlessly a component of the hiring process now. So when you put things on social media about yourself, please
Think about what you're putting out there.
think about it.
Yes, I
Think
try to
about
tell
it.
my young people in my family.
Yes, think about it.
Years down
Think
the road.
about those years down the road. Yes. Think about those pictures. Think about those conversations. Think about not only that, Daryl, think about who you're responding to. Whose conversations online are you responding to?
Yeah, because you're developing a relationship.
Yes,
So
yes.
you're gonna
And there's
be-
threads.
And there's threads.
There's
yes.
threads
That's
attached
key.
to that.
Yep.
So you are being interviewed before you actually come in to take the seat. Now we have so many ways in which we can set up solutions to assist us in drawing an audience for a particular position. We get to create questionnaires that you, an applicant, a potential candidate, would complete before you come in to meet with us. Well, the same holds true for social media. LinkedIn, Facebook,
Absolutely.
Twitter, all of the other handles in social media. All of those handles are available.
So for us that are on the hiring end, we understand now we got a sales, we got a market to sell to. Now
Right.
we have to expand that group of people. How much should we rely on social media for those that we hire? Should we balance that with other things, or should we just say, hey, these folks, they put this stuff out there. I don't have a fuzzy feeling about it. I mean, how do you balance that? You really don't want to be unfair. Sometimes people make mistakes, and they have to,
Great
as a
question.
young person.
The reason why it's a great question is because we are an equal opportunity employer. So when an opportunity becomes available, you meet the minimum qualifications per the job description. So every entrepreneur, every business owner has to have job descriptions so that I can tell you if I meet the minimum qualifications and then allow me to apply. Because what's going to happen when you hire HR in Motion to provide services for you, we're going to provide services because we don't interview the resume. We interview the person in the chair. Because we provide resume services.
Okay.
So because we provide resume services, there are others who provide resume services. We can look really, really good on paper, but cannot share the successes or the challenges in our professional lives in the chair. But HR in Motion has a proprietary method that we use that we're pretty proud of that helps us to engage the individual in the chair. And if the individual in the chair is not successful, or let's say they are successful.
Okay.
Let's say they get through the interview process and they get the job. There is that introductory period, that probationary period,
Okay.
where both the new employee and the employer should be critiquing each other to identify if this is a really good fit. And if it isn't a really good fit, no problem.
Right.
So if that intro period is 90 days, which is typically the standard, in that 90-day period, you and the new hire will know this is good or isn't good.
Isn't good.
And then you can part ways. and start that process over.
Wow.
So yes, to answer your question, if it's not so egregious, yes, allow them to balance it out and go for the opportunity.
Okay, that's awesome. So again, on the business side, as I think about entrepreneurs, I know one of the questions that come up a lot, I think we chatted a minute about it on the phone, dealing with that employee versus the contractor.
Yes.
And how that relates to taxes and how that
Yes.
relates to our responsibility as an employee in terms of
Yes.
benefits and all that stuff. How do you, where's that line and when do you cross it and when does that contractor become an employee in reality?
Daryl, that's a great question. It's a really great question. And to my fellow brothers and sisters in business, I truly empathize and sympathize with you. But this is the deal. Many small businesses get in trouble because they hire a contractor who is working by definition as an employee.
Right.
So the difference is, if I am an employee, you tell me what to do. You tell me when to show up. You tell me when I can go to lunch. You tell me when I can leave. But if I'm a contractor, I have an agreement with you. I am telling you what you can expect from me.
Okay.
As the contractor. We agree on a time that I should and must provide the deliverables. And if I do a great job, we'll keep doing business together. But you don't have a desk for me. You don't have a computer for me. You don't have a paperclip for me.
Wow.
Because I'm independent. And I should not interrupt your daily operation
at all.
At all. Just because I'm not present. But if that help desk specialist is not present, and you are an IT company, that help desk specialist is going to affect your daily operation. But from a human resources perspective, if I'm your HR consultant, you won't need me present every day as a consultant to ensure that your business model isn't interrupted. The difference is, how is that person working for you? Are they working for you or with you? If they're working for you, they're your employee.
You better get a W-4. Yes. Not a 1099. No. That's not a 1099.
No. And what happens, what I've seen happen to small businesses, I get the 1099. Okay, we have an arrangement. Fredrica, you are not an employee, you're a contractor. Okay, great. And then you don't have any more work for me. So then I'm going to file for unemployment. Because that's what I've been trained to do. Because I'm not really a 1099 in thought.
In thought, right.
I'm a W-2 in thought. I file for unemployment. Unemployment says, hey, company ABC, Fredrica has to file for unemployment. Is she your employee? Depending on how you answer that question.
Wow.
Opens up many doors of assessments, also known as audits.
Audits. Oof. You don't want to go
and
to
all
that.
the systems talk.
Right.
All the systems talk. So if one system comes in for an audit, the likelihood of the subsequent system is coming too, because taxes. So let's just give you this quick information. If I am a non-exempt, that means I'm hourly.
Okay.
But you have hired me as a contractor. And so I've worked for you for 60 hours a week. But you only paid me for 40. And then that audit comes.
Right.
So you're the auditor and you happen to see me and you ask me, how many hours a week am I working? I tell you 60. You go back to the owner and the owner says, she don't work 60 hours. She only works 40. You're going to believe me. Because you so far have found nothing to validate that I'm an employee.
Right.
There are fines. There are fines if it's determined that you intentionally withheld truth, and there's fines that determine if it's determined that you unintentionally withheld, but you still are going to be fined. That is a road you don't want to go down that road.
Wow.
It might look cheaper, but it's expensive.
Wow.
It can be very expensive.
Do you see that a lot in small business?
In the last several years, I've
it's
seen it
picking up.
quite a bit.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah, that could be a deal breaker. That could put you out of business.
literally.
Yeah, you're
Literally.
done.
Literally. It can scare you, even if it doesn't put you out of business. It can just, it can be a weight
Mm-hmm.
because you thought, man, I was trying to do blah, I had planned this.
Yes. Wow. So, how again? Going back, as you know, I'm a small business owner. You know, I don't have employees yet, but I have aspirations. I have goals. I know I have a market. I want to sell and grow.
Yes.
When you come in, when I bring in HR in motion, what do you need from me to start operating as a HR service for me? Things that I should be putting in place
Yes.
before I call you or when I start business.
So when you call me, you need to have employees
Okay.
because it just makes money sense because you're going to go into a partnership. If we start out, I always start out with a conversation.
So I don't want to get you to hire my employees.
You want me to hire them.
Okay.
You want me to
We'll
hire them. So good point, but you got to be ready.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're ready, then we can have a conversation. If you want to just go out for coffee and say, Fredrica, I really am interested. I'm ready. I got the capital in place.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the space in place. What do I do? I'm going to congratulate you, and then we're going to go over this checklist. There's some basic one-on-one that every business owner has to have to start establishing that system. Job descriptions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Job descriptions are important because not only do they tell me as an employee what's expected of me, they're going to assist you as my employer when it's time to
Performance reviews.
performance evaluations,
Okay.
yes. Because as your business grows, you're going to start here. You're going to start with at least 7. And those 7 individuals are going to have your vision.
Okay.
And so now you have a 2-tier company. When that 3rd tier establishes, now we're going to have employees all along this developmental line, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And what you have to have in place is the same system that this 7 are governed by, is the same system that this line of employees are governed by. So the vacation is the same, the benefits are the same, time off is the same, time to report to work is the same.
Okay.
If you have flexible schedule, it's the same for everyone. Because the continuity and the consistency develops continuity within your organization.
Wow.
So you start with job descriptions, you start with an employee handbook. The employee handbook is a part of that systematic approach. Your managers and your supervisor are going to go to the employee handbook.
Mm-hmm.
They won't have to come to you.
Right. Okay.
And when they come to you, if you don't have it written down, you're going to say something a little bit different each time.
Exactly. You know how we do. That's so true. That's the key point.
Yes.
What you just said. You
Yes.
know, that's why you have it in the hand. Just go take a look at the
Yes.
handbook. It's there and it's
Exactly.
consistent every
Yes.
time. on
Your
the way
handbook
things are.
is your Bible. If ever there was a need for litigation, the court is going to ask you about your policies and procedures. And there is a date. Every time a policy is updated, it's dated. That date is critical to a litigation scenario. So there is a biblical truth that says it's the small foxes that destroy the vine. It's the small things
Yeah.
that we overlook that could really just take us to places of discomfort, places of low morale, places of losing money that we don't have to go. So systematically, that Bible, your employee handbook, it guides your company. And as things are changing, as innovation is rolling out, as there's progression and there are solutions that are assisting you and your team, that Bible is updated. Always must stay updated. Why? Because less and less will your team members come to you, the employees come to you, but the managers are now going to be the go-to, the direct reports going to them. And that Bible is going to be so important to really roll out what your vision is. Those policies and procedures, they are a direct connect to your vision. They're a direct connect to your mission. One small mistake can cost you
Wow.
thousands.
And how often should they update the handbook? Is that something annual
Annually,
update?
yes.
Okay.
Just like you change your batteries in your fire alarms at home,
You should be.
same thing, annually. Because
Okay.
if you're progressing and you're moving,
It should be.
changing is happening within your organization. If you're tweaking that product or you're tweaking that service, that change should also be reflected in the job description, in the employee handbook, in the policies and procedures, in your operational procedures, in your standard operation procedures. It all should be written down. And the reason why they're so critical is because they are the footprint. They are the footprint of the expectation that every employee is responsible for fulfilling, for following, be held accountable to. It's just no way of being effective.
Right.
Your product is here, but when we decide to have a business model, now we're bringing other people into this picture. Now we're expanding this opportunity for this service and this product to be known by more, to be discussed and talked about by more. We've got to have structure in place for our team so that they are always on the cutting edge because we are always on the cutting edge. So that team of executives that starts out with you, the president, CEO, they are so important to you, and they come in fired up. They are ready to take your vision and run with it. And they're going to be watching you to see just how strategic you are of establishing that platform. So as the tiers of employees are expanding, they know that the system is going to work because they've watched it work from this second level. You're the first and then this second level, and then it just grows.
Yeah, and I love that. I love what you're saying about having a Bible or a book in place because you have it written. You know, again, the principle, write the vision, make it plain, because even when you're bringing in that first level, you can give them what the vision is, because even when you're interviewing them, you're going to say something different if you don't have it. So I really appreciate that, and that helps me stay on point with my vision and stuff. So I really need to have that for myself and have it ready. So when I get to that point, I can, and I'm ready to bring in that leadership team. It's there, ready to go. You know, and it helps you just make sure you're laser focused on where you want to be. So I really appreciate that. I think that's something that we should know as business owners. I know we don't think about that until it's time to hire, and then you're trying to share your vision, and you're trying to bring in all these different people on, right? And you just talking you all over the place. Everybody's got a different vision that you've hired. You're like, why is this not working? So that's important. So when I'm bringing in those individuals, they are responsible for different departments in the organization. You know, finance, you got sales, you got marketing, got your legal. When I bring in HR in motion, what's more critical for you in terms of being in relationships with other departments? What are the key departments I should have in place first, or is it
sales and marketing?
Sales, you back. I hear you. You told me earlier. Make sure.
You know why? Because I started off wrong.
Okay.
And I've learned by listening to books and reading books and talking to others who have excelled beyond me. So listening to them how to make it right. When HR in Motion comes on board, HR in Motion is coming on board because your systems are now in place. Your money system is in place. Your marketing system is in place. You need me now because you need the people.
Yes.
You need the people. You got boots on the ground, which are those sales folks. They're your exempt. They're professionals. According to the Department of Labor. They're part of the folks that are going to get paid regardless. You got the marketing folk. They are just turning it upside down with you. You see it one way, you lay down, and it's changed. It's changed, but they're right there with you. When HR in Motion comes on board, now I am going to take your vision and I'm going to put it in print. Or, because we start with a conversation. We always start with a conversation. I don't come in with my list. I come in listening to you because you got to tell me what you've done. I need to see
Right.
what you've established from a human resources management perspective. I'm going to applaud you regardless of what it looks like. And then you're going to tell me, where are we going?
Where are we going?
You tell me where we're going. From an HR management perspective, I'll tell you how we're going to get there.
Wow, this is awesome. This is, I'm telling you, this is some powerful information, and I really appreciate it. As we get ready to close, I want you to talk a little bit more about HR in Motion.
Okay.
How individuals can get in contact with you. What are some of the special features that you do? Do you do workshops, events? Just talk a little bit about HR in Motion.
Awesome. HR in Motion, we are a boutique of human resource management services. So we are actually a virtual human resources department. We provide project management services from an HR perspective, or we can come in and run your day-to-day HR department. Our sweet spot is training and development.
Okay.
One of the most effective, and I really enjoy this, is providing soft skill training. I love providing soft skill training for adults, older, it doesn't matter how old, because we're always learning. We're always growing and developing. A absolute recommendation is sexual harassment training.
Wow.
It is necessary.
Wow.
It is absolutely necessary.
I can believe that.
Absolutely necessary. Your people need to know what to do. So it's not just sexual harassment training, but they need to know what that means and what you, the employer, has already put in place for them, so that they will know what to do and what to expect from you. So we provide training services, we provide new hire orientation, we provide employee labor relations, we provide investigation services. If there's a sexual harassment claim, we come in and we conduct the investigation from beginning to end with recommendation. The goal is to keep you out of court. That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's awesome. And I know that sexual harassment is key.
It's not a game. It's not a
When
not a
I was
game.
in management and had people under me, I mean, because you're responsible for everything. Everything you hear. You might not be a part of it, but if somebody tell you something, you got to document that thing and be ready to address it right then and there.
You really do.
So I appreciate it. This is one of those Elite Conversations Unplugged that you're going to have to watch 2 or 3 times, get your notepad and write things down, but we're definitely going to have you back. This has been a wonderful, wonderful session. I appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom, and I think those that are watching have learned a lot about business and about HR. It's a different HR these days.
Yes, it is.
And you need it. You need it if you're going to grow.
Absolutely.
And I love the wisdom you provided. So again, this is Daryl Spears with EliteConversations.com. We thank you so much for always being a part of our program, always a part of our audience each and every Thursday. Again, you can go to our website, www.EliteConversations.com, learn more about our products and our services, learn more about our great experts. We put information on there about them, so if you forget anything, you can always go to Elite Conversations to find HR in Motion. So again, thank you so much. We hope you have a great evening, and we will see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Good night.